you didn't want kids. Where are you on kids now?
I don't want them.
You don't?
No, and I'm still there. I'm 47. I don't have them. I have a certain curiosity about life. And I also know the investment that it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest fear is, as someone who's driven, many times stubborn and selfish, I try to approach the world with kindness and curiosity, but I don't think I'm personally ready, nor will I ever be, to invest the time it needs to be a great parent.
So, this video with John Cena, I actually think that it made me a little bit sad. I kind of feel like he's an individual who looks like he would be a really, really fantastic dad who allowed the intrusive voices in his head to tell him, you can't do it. You're not going to be able to commit the proper time. He's talking about achievements. He's talking about goals that he wants to achieve. And it looks like he eliminated the achievement of being a dad from that list. And it is up to him. I do think it's up to him. I do think that people who don't want kids, I think is, in a sense, I'll call it being honest with yourself. I don't think kids are for everybody. I do think you have to recognize the commitment that they bring in. But when I look at this and I hear him say, I'm a successful individual and I'm driven, part of me looks and goes, gosh, I wish he could see the pleasure of an achievement he would get from being a father. And I feel like that's something that he missed.
Yeah, to each their own, though. I mean, I get it. It is time you spend on one thing is time not being spent on something else. And
absolutely true. Absolutely true.
That's the reality of it. So, could you, there's some that argue that like there's kids actually drive you to be better and make you more successful than you otherwise would be. And maybe that's true if it's terms of like it actually drives you and puts you in a mental state where you're more productive than you were without kids because you have less to like worry about, if you will, But imagine if you had that same drive without kids, you would be more productive. You'd get more done. I don't think there's kind of any way around that. So like the mindset benefits, are probably very tangible, but I would say probably like the biggest thing to me that I think that kids help drive success is the networking benefits.
I'm not sure that I would make, in this particular video, I don't know if I would make a hard stance on that the kids drive you to be more successful. I guess I'm very, very just specifically making the comment regarding the achievement of having kids. A lot of our pushes for motivation.
It's not very hard for us to do that.
To have kids motivate you to do better?
To have them. Like, it's like having kids is like, I've been having, that achievement for a long time and, it's not very hard to pull off.
I think it is. I think it is hard. I think it's something that you see a lot more on the constant where it's something that you have to continue doing. And I think maybe the achievement is in it's kind of the lead up to once you're actually saying, hey, I'm in this and I'm doing it. But yeah, and I guess for me, it does temper a little bit of what I really view success as. I'm still very driven on a financial side to have successful businesses and do those things. But I also look and I go, at the end of my life, what will I really call successes? And of course, the business ones will be. But a lot of me also looks at the wealth that I have within my family. And I think that's when I kind of point at this video and go, yeah, I'm glad he has an awareness, but I also feel like the mindset for achievement, I feel like could change if he wanted to have kids. But I can see why this video ruffled so many feathers for sure. I mean, John Cena's a fan favorite. He's known as the guy who spends the most time with kids for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He is known to be someone who's done a lot of charity work. I mean, we like him in the movies he's been in and just someone who's, I'll call it, a family-friendly entertainer, which is something I've always appreciated about him.
Yeah, seems like a pretty cool guy.